Land and by air today, the Maryland National Guard wrapped up a summer of combat skills training. And our own I.J. Hudson joined the politicians and the members of the National Guard for the summer closing ceremony, nicknamed Operation Thunderbolt.
It's called Thunderbolt II, a joint exercise to show the capabilities of the National Guard's 29th Light Infantry Division. It is an assault group set up to move in quickly, perform its mission, and move on. As a C-130 lumbers in to drop equipment and troops, a Maryland-produced A-10 provides close ground support. Black Hawk choppers move in with squads. Others bring in 105mm howitzers. At minutes later, artillery fire rings out. Maryland's commander-in-chief is impressed.
I think the most important thing is employers to understand, the country to understand the importance of the National Guard, keep them well-trained, keep them well-equipped.
Guard members drill 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks of camp. And today, employers were invited to see what their people are doing during that 2 weeks away from work. The soldiers are blue-collar, white-collar students.
It's a way of giving something back to the country. It's worthwhile. It's 1 weekend a month. I really enjoy it.
We have moved up to a modern time. We can compete with any other country, and mostly we can compete with the regular army.
Your equipment is now up to date, you think?
Not quite, but it's coming there.
The mission is to be ready, and that takes equipment, people, and training. There is still old equipment around, but things are improving, according to commanders. And Senator Barbara Mikulski wants Congress to provide more support, including 10 more helicopters.
In order for our country to survive, we need to have a National Guard ready to defend us against a national emergency. But we also need people to be able to do national service, community service, to keep our community humming.
While some members say the Guard is fun, they are serious about what they do. They say that the old Guard is gone, that there is a new Guard, lean and mean. They still are called weekend warriors, but feel the Guard has come a long way since the 60s and the shootings at Kent State, that the Guard is ready to support administration policy and help in the event of a state emergency. I.J. Hudson, News 4 at Fort A.P. Hill in Virginia.
For the Army's 29th Infantry Division, National Guard units comprised of citizen soldiers from Maryland and Virginia. The annual training exercises top off 2 weeks of training and give the public a glimpse of the state of readiness of the National Guard. The Guard has become a key element in our nation's defense. Bob Strickland reports.
This is Operation Thunderbolt, an annual exercise put on by the 29th Infantry. The unit is called a light division with fewer troops and heavy equipment than a standard division. But the firepower display put on today was anything but light. The 29th Infantry Division is 71 years old now. Its history goes back to trench warfare in France during World War I and the landing on Omaha Beach and the drive deep into Germany during World War II. Its mission now is to maintain combat readiness in case these citizen soldiers are called upon in a national emergency.
We're really trying to get people to understand what we're all about and what we're charged to do and what our capabilities currently are and why we really need to take people out of the civilian sector for 15 days at a time once a year. I'd like the employers to gain an appreciation for the fact that their employees, when they come here, are key members of a team, and that their attendance here is not only valuable to the individual soldier himself, but it's essential to the unit he's a member of, that he be here and be able to function for the team to be as proficient as it needs to be in its mission.
There was a time when Guard units had a not-so-glamorous image as so-called weekend warriors. Now Guard components make up half of the Army's combat units, and their assignments have become more realistic. Guard units are often deployed to hotspots around the globe.
You see a lot of know-how at work here. And in terms of character, I think it takes a lot of character to give up 2 weekends a month, 2 weeks a year, to get out there and make an investment in our own country.
When you are in the military, one never gets out of your system. I came on the base, and the moment I drove on, I was back in the military.
There are critics who'd prefer to keep these troops where they are now, at home, saying much of the deployment of Guard units overseas these days amounts to dangerous U.S. muscle flexing. The controversy notwithstanding, it's generally agreed that the so-called total force concept has improved Guard readiness. in case the real thing comes along. Bob Strickland, Eyewitness News.
Look at me, look at
Faster when we think of the National Guard. But today the Guard showed its other side, its military side. Channel 2's David Murphy was up at dawn today to board a C-130 transport to Virginia. Take a look at Operation Thunderbolt II, a show of strength.
It started with a flight from Baltimore on a C-130 transport and a landing at Fort A.P. Hill near Fredericksburg, Virginia. It went on with a boom. You're watching Operation Thunderbolt II, a demonstration of how well organized and combat-ready your Maryland National Guard is. Part of this day is sort of an equipment show and tell.
Turn the face like this, and you inside your cock.
Okay. You'd have me running right there. And it's also part showing off for the Guard's Commander-in-Chief, Governor Schaefer, in full military duds. But this is what everybody came to see, the National Guard in action in the field. And when it comes to the Guard, there's plenty of action. This is an actual training exercise we're seeing here with live ammo, and the soldiering is impressive. But so are the soldiers, most of them part-timers, taking time out from other jobs to do this one. For them, it's a day to show off for you too.
We go home and we talk to our family and friends and say we're part of Operation Thunderbolt or what we do on the weekend. A lot of us like, yeah, okay, but this gives us an opportunity for exposure and to show them what the Guard is all about.
I enjoy it. It gives me a chance to get away from our regular job, gives me a chance to train and to contribute something.
The Guardsmen I talk to hope they'll never have to use these weapons against any real enemies. But if they have to, well, judge for yourself if they're ready. With the Guard in Virginia, David Murphy, Channel 2 News Nightside.
That was the Air National Guard's 29th Division Light Infantry you just saw. It's made up of not only the Maryland National Guard, but the Virginia Guard.